Hey friends, Joe the Farmer here, and my lord, what a difference a few days makes. So I just posted a video with Holly and I cleaning up some of the debris from the deck, and you know, this whole thing has just been very bizarre. You know, I actually grew up in the Northeast, and snow is nothing new to me, but this ice thing and the sleet, and you know, first you get 2 inches of ice and then all of a sudden it starts snowing like crazy. I mean, this is just, it's like something out of a movie. I said that in one of the other videos, and it's so true. If somebody were to tell me that that all happened and I was standing here today, I'd say you're crazy. It's 70 degrees, it's sunny, and you know, early when we started this YouTube channel, I was doing some food plots or something. I think I mentioned that, you know, the weather in Tennessee is incredibly erratic, and someone was like, oh, the weather in Tennessee isn't that crazy. I'm like, listen, the weather in Tennessee is crazy. We had ice storms less than a week ago, you know, trees covered in ice, and now here to 70 degrees and sunny, and you know, cool breeze, and I don't know, but I'll take today over that ice craziness any day of the week. So today we're going to get into a couple things. As you can see behind me, I have a fresh trailer load full of IBC Totes. I picked up 4 more IBC Totes, and you know, I've been sharing the math of these things. I did that video not too long ago, really just kind of talking about what I'm paying for them and why, you know, maybe you should stop buying firewood and start splitting your own. It's fun, it's healthy, it's gets you outside, and you know, it's really not that expensive. And this stuff is, I mean, it kind of goes for a premium. When you fill these things up and you can get 200 bucks per tote, man, that's a pretty good deal. You know, you can pay for a lot of equipment with that kind of money, but each one of these were $30 a piece, and that's 120 bucks for 4 totes. And you know, we should have those filled up here very shortly. And if you're not a subscriber, I would suggest, you know, if you like this kind of thing, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down here on that side. And the reason why is we have something really cool we're going to be showing you here soon that you know, we're kind of stepping up our game a little bit from the IBC Totes, and you know, these are fantastic. They work really, really well, and if you're using this kind of a method, then it's absolutely successful. But we're going to probably step it up a little bit, and you know, if anybody has any guesses, you know, leave a comment down below. But you know, if you're not a subscriber, like I said, just come along with us. We'd love to have you in the future. But today we're really just going to get into unloading these things. I'm going to get the tractor out, stretch its legs a little bit, and then I mentioned on the new grapple that there was a leak in one of the hydraulic lines going into the cylinder, so we may check that out and see if we can tighten that down. And if I can get that grapple tightened down and not leaking to where I'm losing hydraulic fluid, then yeah, who knows, maybe we'll pull one of these limbs off and try it out a little bit. I'm dying to use that thing. Let's go ahead and get the pallet forks on the tractor, get these things unloaded, and then we'll go and see if we can't fix that leak on the grapple. I'll show you what that looks like. It's really not unusual for new equipment to need some, you know, wrenching here and there. So let's go do it. right, I got the grapple attached. Let's go ahead and hook up the plumbing and show you a little bit about how the third function works. Okay, so for a lot of you, this may be like Tractors 101, but I do want to make sure that I kind of explain this stuff to folks who may be new to tractors and new to equipment. So this is a third function valve. It's installed in the front of the tractor. You can also have rear remotes, which is similar. It's where hydraulic fluid will flow through different implements to make them do different things. So in this case, we have a third function valve on the front in order to hook up to the plumbing of the grapple, and that's what makes the front of it kind of go open and close. So I need to hook this plumbing into my tractor's hydraulic system. The great thing about the way that this thing is set up is that there's plenty of room on this actual hose. Sometimes you get hoses that are too short or too long. They seem to have thought this one out pretty well. Now, whenever you're working with this kind of stuff, it goes without saying that hydraulics, all it takes is a little bit of a nudge on something, and we talked about this in the video where we're talking about the float. This thing weighs a lot. Like, this grapple is probably close to 600 pounds. This loader is well over 1,000 pounds. So you always want to be working to the side of things. You never want to like crawl in here and start working with stuff, because it's just a bad recipe for danger. I'm always someone who tries to stay away from the machine to where if something happens, I could just kind of back out and just let it fall. This stuff is hardcore, tough steel. So if it falls, it's not the end of the world. I've actually dropped my pallet forks. That's our little safety tip of the day, but let's go ahead and plug this thing in, and I'll show you how the controls work on the inside. So all this is a little kind of plunger. Stick that in there, and then you push hard and it goes in. I'm going to do the bottom one first because I always do the top. It's just easier to get a grip if you do the bottom one first. That one actually went in really easy, which is not common. So we'll see if this one does too. Oh, living right. Okay, so what we've done there, that's how quickly you can hook up to the grapple. So with a skid steer quick attach, if you're buying a tractor, if you're looking for tractors, if this is something that's new to you, and you hear things like iMatch on the John Deere, or Kubota also has the skid steer quick attach, but it's not standard like it is on Coyote or some other brands, you absolutely want this option. I don't care what anyone at a dealership tells you, a pin-on connection, blah, 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 you can do it later. No, you can't. Do this when you buy the tractor. Make sure you have a skid steer quick attach, because there's literally thousands of different attachments out there that are used, steel, rusted and old, but you know what? They all work. If you find old rusted pallet forks, who cares? They'll work perfectly fine. Something like this where there's mechanics in it, where you have this plumbing and all these different connections, you probably want to get one of these that's a little bit newer, or one that you get so cheap you can refurbish and have the cylinders rebuilt, or have these hoses replaced, because these hoses will actually age. That's why I try and keep them undercover. But anyway, that's as simple as it is. If for some reason when you're pushing these hydraulic lines in, you get a lot of resistance, you can go in the cab and kind of joggle or jog the loader control back and forth. That will relieve some of the pressure on the hydraulic lines, and that should give you an opportunity to just set it in there easily. This being a new grapple, new connections, and a new tractor, none of this stuff is broken in. So actually, when I tried to take this off the tractor for the first time, I could not get one of these connections off. So I took a hammer and I very gently, I didn't whack on it hard, but from time to time I'll gently just kind of tap on that to make that let go. And once it lets go, then obviously it's disconnected from the machine. But you do have to realize that you're going to get some kind of mess. You're going to get some fluids and some things leaking out of here. It's all part of it. These tractors are designed for that. They call them wet tractors sometimes, where they'll leak a little bit. You don't want to have a lot of fluid coming out, but that you're going to get fluid on your hands, and it's just going to happen. I, for one, I'm kind of a smell person. There's certain smells I just don't like. I hate the smell of hydraulic fluid. It's just one of those things. Oil doesn't bother me. A lot of things don't bother me. Hydraulic fluid, I don't know what it is. It's just, the smell of it is just nasty. So I like to keep as much of it off my hands as possible. So maybe a good tip to keep a rag in the tractor with you. Still living right. When you have a third function installed, you're going to have these two little buttons right here. There's one here and one here. One will open, one will close. So as you kind of operate the grapple, you can actually lift the loader and drive up to things, close it, and pull away, which is what we're actually going to show over here on this tree. So you can kind of get an idea though, where as I'm lifting, lowering, close, open. What a great tool, right? So let's head out there real quick. I want to make sure this isn't leaking. It's not leaking enough to where I really have to worry about the hydraulic fluid being lost or anything, but if I could tighten it down or something, I may as well go ahead and do it, and this way I don't have to do it in the future. So let's head out there. So I am not seeing, and by the way, whenever this is open as well, never put body parts or your head or anything in there, please. I like y'all too much. I don't want anything to happen to you. These things are heavy, and I'm telling you, this stuff can hurt you, so you really have to be very careful around this stuff. So let's see. I think I just saw a drip. Yeah. There's our culprit. There you go. You can kind of get an idea where it's dripping now. It's just not tight enough on that nut. I just need to tighten that nut down. So I tried to get that little drip to stop, and I can't figure that out. So I'm going to have to call the dealer and, you know, ask them what they recommend. There's all these little elbows on there that are like a cast aluminum or something. There must be a hairline crack in one of those things. I had that issue with those exact same elbows before, and you know, it just kind of is what it is. It's, you know, there's always something like this on the farm that, you know, whenever you're trying to get a job done or do something, there's one little nitpicky thing that you just have to kind of live with. So we're just going to move forward, and I told you that we were going to use the grapple today, so we're going to get in the tractor and we're going to grapple this thing. It doesn't really look like it's attached, but for the maiden voyage of the grapple, let's go ahead and get that thing and see if we can rip it off that tree. Well, that was fun. Whew. So I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not, but you know, that leak is pretty bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop here. I don't want to, you know, put hydraulic fluid all over the place, but how cool is that? I mean, that's exactly what I need. I need something that I can just get in there and move brush, all of that brush from over here against this tree. You know, it took me 3 minutes to move all of that right over into this pile. Now, am I going to be moving one pile to the other? No, but what I would do is I'd be able to pick up one of these trees, get out the chainsaw, you know, lop it up, and then move it over to the firewood pile. So really cool tool. I'm really excited about this. You know, I'm not going to let a little, you know, $2 elbow attachment, you know, get me down on the whole thing. So I'll call my dealership. They'll probably send somebody out here to replace that fitting, and that's what they did last time when I had the same issue. And it's just part of it, guys. I mean, agricultural equipment, if you're buying a tractor for the first time, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just bought that thing and it doesn't work. This happens. This kind of stuff happens all the time. I usually have some of those extra elbow adapters, but the ones I have are too big for this one. So, you know, I could wrench on it and spend time on it, or, you know, I did buy it. So, you know, my dealer will take care of me. They've got mobile people that come out and do this stuff all the time. And, you know, it's still too wet out here to really kind of get after all this stuff. And I'm already running it up over here, but this is just where we do firewood. I'm not worried about this. But anyway, I do appreciate everyone watching these videos. All the support, all the comments, all the likes, our new subscribers. Thank you all so much for coming along with us on this little farm journey. We really enjoy this kind of stuff. We love being out here, and this is our passion, it's our heart. And I think that there's a lot of people that watch this channel that kind of enjoy the same thing. We like tractors and machines and fishing and hunting and just the outdoors. I mean, good grief, this is what a beautiful country that we have here. And I'm just very blessed to have this land, and I'm so happy I can share it with you all. So if you enjoy this kind of stuff, give us a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that little subscribe button down below, and we would absolutely appreciate you doing that. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. So with that said, I'm Joe the Farmer. We out.